So you gotta admit that Warlords of Draenor has been in many ways a major gold sink. So that's from gear upgrades to constantly re-rolling stats to the garrison requirements. So basically your hard-earned gold just goes poof like that. Now, the game does offer a couple of ways to make some gold, but those methods may not be obvious to everyone. So here are some tips on how you can fund your outlandish in-game spending. In addition to your usual expenses, WoW tokens will also be coming up. If you're interested in freeing yourself from a month or two of paying the monthly sub, then it's going to add to your list of things to spend your gold on. Well, of course, there is a bunch of ways to make the gold. I'll first start off with the ones you can do while in Draenor. Also, you can just click on any of the links you're seeing right now to jump straight into a specific part of this guide. Draenor offers some relatively easy ways to earn gold. We're going to be skipping the high-level BOE drops since those are extremely random. Now with that out of the picture, the main thing you've got to make sure is you've set up your garrison. The garrison, yeah, it's a gold sink, but it also helps you make some money. Now, I mentioned in my gearing video that you can't ignore your garrison, and the same is true for making gold. Now, the profession buildings are the most obvious ones, so here's a list of some of the stuff you can do. So make sure you do your crafting, make the Savage Blood, do your daily Jeweler's Quest, queue up those work orders in your Gladiator Sanctum, and don't skip your money missions. Now, crafting gear and even, crafting those food and flasks and selling them on the AH or in trade is still relatively an easy way to make some gold. Now, food and flasks provide a small amount, but that's pretty steady. For gear, basic crafts don't sell as much as they used to, but if you've been basically just doing and farming those herbs and ores on a daily basis, you'll be stuck with stuff you don't really need. Now, the basic crafts can get you around 1,000 gold or less, and will probably depend on your server and the stats on those crafts. Now, Savage Blood, it's still somewhat of a good sell, but with recent mission changes, alchemists being able to transmute for it, and things like the ore trader, it may soon drop lower from the current 400 gold buyout. So, aside from what I just mentioned, leveling up your barn to max can also produce these from the high-level work orders. Savage Blood can also be acquired by trading in 50 Primal Spirits. Now, Primal Spirits have a decent drop rate from Profession Gathering. If you've maxed out your herb garden and your mine, you can get a good amount on a daily basis. Now, with multiple alts, you can have them trade the primals for Savage Blood and and in turn send the bloods over to your crafting toon. Crafting upgraded gear and selling them on the AH or in trade nets you much more gold than the basic 640 gear. Of course, unless it's an alt you don't really care about, don't forget to gear up that character too. You can also earn a steady 200 to 250 gold per toon on a daily basis by just doing the Jeweler's Daily Quest. It costs a small amount of ore and some herbs depending on the quest. On multiple toons with the correct follower hanging around, you're guaranteed a really noticeable amount daily. Now, if you're into PvP, you might as well get something out of that mess that is Ashran. The Sanctum offers a small amount of gold per work order. Just don't forget to max out the work order queue in your garrison. Now, missions are a very passive way of making gold. The really good ones can net you about 100 to 500 gold per run. Now, those low-level gear missions are also worth running, as converting them can net you about 30 gold each, for the gear that you convert. Now, just make sure you get all the followers you need and improve them constantly through upgrades. Now, for your garrison, there are other structures like the salvage yard and the inn that basically help you earn gold. So with the recent 6.1 drop, 6.1 patch offers a lot more. So take advantage of them. If these things are not fire and forget type stuff, they're most likely things that you do on a regular basis anyway. Song farm. Well, it's still useful, guys. You can still use it to get some mats. So in my case, I use it in conjunction with my engineering and alchemy professions to craft the Sky Golem mount. Now, I'd rather use the farm than run around Pandaria and looking for materials or mats for, you know, the living steel, the mode of harmony, and, you know, eventually ending up with the sky golem mount. So to be efficient, I use two alts for farming, motes and the motes of harmony and the black and white trillium ores. Now with two alts, you basically have 4 plots that you can work with. I plant the snake root seeds in 2 plots on one alt, and on the other alt I will use up 1 plot for the snake root seeds and the other plot for the songbell seeds. Now this way I get the trillium ore basics, the black and white ones, and motes, which means I don't have to buy motes or spirits from the auction house. Now I turn over the ores and to a miner to combine them into trillium bars. And the bars are then sent over to an alchemist, so every 6 bars are transmuted into living steel. Now actually at that very point you can just stop right there, since each bar sells for quite a decent amount. The last time I checked is around 200 to 300 gold on my server, and I think on Wowhead it's around 300. So if your alchemist has the transmutation master trait, there is a chance to make more living steel per cooldown. Now, in addition, the motes you convert into spirits of harmony help you make more living steel bars, ignoring the daily cooldown. If there's a lot of competition for living steel, then that's when you go into making that golem. You can still make some money off living steel, since there's a chance that you'll have more than enough before the 30 days are up. So if that happens, just post them up on the AH to make some extra cash. Now, the golem, the sky golem, takes 30 days to make, since Jard's peculiar energy source has a daily cooldown. To craft this, just use the ghost iron ore you get from Sunsong Ranch and turn them into bars, and basically have your engineer just, you know, craft that daily requirement. At the end of 30 days, your golem can make you about a good 14 to 18k gold on the auction house, depending on whether there are other golems being sold. So it's a really good thing to do, since the only cost to craft is about 5 minutes per character spent on the farm daily and buying the seeds every now and then. So if you guys can also figure out a way to maximize the use of the farm, even though it's all content, maybe you'll figure something out. Anyway, I just want to say that Sunsong farm, even though it's missed content, is still useful. So, in case you weren't aware or haven't noticed your max level guild members hanging out in old zones, there's a reason for that. They're really good spots to earn some gold. Now, if you ask anyone, some of the usual recommendations would be ICC or the Kata raids. So the thing about it is that I've noticed that post 6.1, ICC runs no longer seem to be efficient farming spots. In a recent test I did, I only got a total of 531 gold for a 32-minute run, which means about, if my math is correct, that's about 990 gold per hour. So previously I was able to do around 800 to 900 gold per run for the same time, which would equate to a minimum of about 1500 gold per hour. So reading through the forums post-patch, it appears that people have been noticing the same thing in other areas. So I also did a test run for Dragon Soul 25 just to check if other raids were affected. So a ton of epics still dropped though. I was able to get around 1,134 gold for a 34-minute run. So that equates to roughly about 2,000 gold per hour. It's still pretty good actually. Just make sure you skip the cinematics whenever you can. Don't spend too much time on Deathwing's back, and bring Hagara down as soon as possible. So just to check further, I also went into Firelands about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, post 6.1. I got about 1,075 gold for a 29-minute run. That's about 2,224 gold per hour, which, if I remember correctly, is about the same amount I got from runs prior to patch 6.1. So from the sample I did, it appears that Ice Crown Citadel may have been nerfed again, but you know, it's possible that I was also unlucky, but I just can't, you know, believe that I was that unlucky. So the two kata raids I tested appear to be doing well, or close to what I used to get from my previous runs. I just wanted to mention that I just want to mention that all my test runs didn't clean out the instances. It's always my goal to get through it as fast as possible. I also kept any gear that I wanted for Mogs, and I also just ran normal modes just to be done with it quickly. I don't like spending too much time in an old instance. So I would suggest trying out the other kata raids like BWD, as I haven't done them post 6.1, but they were also good spots for farming before that. So also, as you know, I've been reading up on the forums, and people have been saying that kata heroics have also been gutted, but I wasn't able to test that yet. So if you're doing Dragon Soul, you can still check out the Twilight and End Time instances, since they're really, basically just inside the Caverns of Time area. So you can also check that out. Now, if you are a regular in Battlegrounds, you'll basically find that you'll be sitting on so much honor points. You can make some gold, a small amount of gold from those honor points if you weren't aware of it, but before making gold off those points, make sure you've got the PvP mogs and mounts you need. Now, once you've gotten the stuff you need, you can then convert your honor points to gold. So at the moment, again, unless Blizzard changes things, some people have been noticing some changes, especially with the WoW tokens coming up. But anyway, there is one somewhat efficient way to dump your excess honor points, and that is by buying the brutal shivs. Now, the shivs themselves cost 105 honor points apiece, which total to, if you're at max honor, 37 of these old school weapons. Now, you can't really sell them just like that, even though you buy them all. The not so good part about this whole thing is that you have to hold them for about 2 hours until the refund timer wears off. Now, once the 2 hours are up, sell them for a little over 15 gold a piece, which is about 580 gold. So that's only less than 300 gold per hour, but it's better than not knowing where to dump your honor points. You can purchase the shivs even before reaching 2 or 3k honor, so that you don't waste the points if you're the type to PvP all day long. And that should be it on my tips on how you can make gold post patch 6.1. Now, if you notice, my guide is pretty much just relaxed in terms of getting the gold. I skipped the BOEs. I skipped, if you're a good PvPer, selling your selling some wins on the arena, or selling challenge modes or stuff like that, or runs through whatever instances. Yeah, it's a pretty relaxed guide. I really don't like spending too much time in one aspect of the game just to make some gold, or basically you really have to be, if you want to earn gold through selling stuff or services in game, like a run, you really have to be good at what you're doing. So that requires some coordination and some really some good skill. But in case you're not the type and you're just pretty much the casual like me, let's just make a summary of what I've discussed so far. Let's say you're just using one character and you've maxed out your garrison. So let's say in your garrison you get those 100 gold missions for about 3 times per week. That's about 300. And let's say you get one successful 500 gold mission on the week. You diligently do your jeweler's quest on a daily basis, which nets you about 200 gold per quest, per daily quest. You're able to sell some gear on the auction house for around 2,000 gold. Let's say you run Firelands and you get about 1,000 gold. You run Dragon Soul, you get about 1,000 gold. ICC, even though it's crap, you get around 500 gold. You're able to max out your honor about twice in a week, so that's about 1,100 gold. And you're able to sell maybe some living steel on the auction house for about 5 bars in a week, so that's about 500 gold. Sorry, that's 1,500 gold. So really, when you sum it all up, and doing things just in a relaxed manner with the total work time about 4 hours, of course, minus the waiting time for the turnover of the brutal shivs if you PvP, that's really about, if my math is correct, it's about 9,300 gold for a week for barely 4 hours of work. And when come month end, you multiply that by 4, that's about 30, 37,000 gold. And that's a really decent amount of gold come month end. And this is really just, if you think about it, unless you're a die-hard PvPer, that's really just gold on the side. If you're saving up for something, that's really going to help you get what you want. And if you're the type who's really into that WoW tokens thing, that can help. Although I don't really know what the price is going to be for the tokens. But anyway, this is all, of course, assuming that Blizzard doesn't change anything. I've been recently reading up on the forums that some players have been noticing that the ways to make gold have been gutted, or Blizzard has been changing things up in not so nice ways for us. But anyway, again, assuming things don't change, this is a pretty decent way to make some gold. So anyway, if you have other useful tips, just post them below in the comment section, though I of course understand if you'd rather keep the methods to yourself. So anyway, I hope this was useful for you guys to help you buy the stuff you need in game. And thanks for watching.